Now the next is, what do you mean by evaporation? Simply, the definition of evaporation is, it is a surface phenomena in which liquid changes into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. Evaporation is the surface phenomena which is getting built below its boiling point, that is below 100 degrees Celsius. It is a phenomena takes place. There are so many factors affecting the evaporation. Firstly, exposed surface area. Second is temperature. Third is humidity. And fourth one is wind. Now, how we conclude that evaporation is taken place? Let us consider that suppose we will take a container. Suppose we have a cup of water in which water is placed here, and we are putting this cup for 2 or 3 days in a room, 2 or 3 days in a room, and after 2 or 3 days we will see that the level of water is getting reduced. The level of water is getting reduced. So where the content of water goes, it is getting evaporated. So how the phenomena of evaporation takes place, on what factors is evaporation is dependent? So there are many factors, in which first is exposed surface area. That means evaporation directly depends on the surface area. Suppose we have a cup in which liquid is placed, and in the same way we have a large plate in the liquid is placed. If we are keeping these two things for one day in the same room, after next day we will see that evaporation takes faster in the plate as compared to the cup. So the level of water in the cup is reduced like this, and the level of water in the plate is like this. So almost all the water evaporates from the plate as compared to the cup. So larger is the surface area, more is the evaporation. Less is the surface area, less is the evaporation. So it means evaporation directly depends on the surface area. Now the next is temperature. How the evaporation takes place with the change in temperature. Evaporation is getting faster with the change in temperature. As the temperature is increased, the evaporation takes place faster. So evaporation is directly dependent on temperature, is directly proportional to the temperature. Now the next one is humidity. Humidity means moisture. Humidity also plays a vital role in the process of evaporation. Next, last, fourth is wind. Wind, we generally see that if we are placing our clothes over the roof inside under the sunlight, if the wind is blowing there, with the higher level of wind blowing, the clothes are dry off quickly, because the water contents are lost very quickly. So with the speed of wind, the evaporation takes faster. So these all are the factors which plays a major role in the process of evaporation, and evaporation is getting faster. So now the next one is, evaporation always causes cooling. Now how we can say that evaporation always causes cooling? Generally we see that if we are applying nail paint removers on our nails, and after that when we are applying it, we feel cool. Why we feel cool? Because when we are applying acetone or remover on our nails, it takes the heat from the surrounding and getting evaporated. When it takes the heat from the surrounding area becomes cool, so we feel coolness after evaporation. The process is, the cooling caused by evaporation is based on the fact that when a liquid evaporates, takes latent heat of vaporization from surroundings, which on losing heat gets cool. That means when the evaporation takes place, it takes the heat from the surrounding, so that the surrounding area becomes cool by losing their content of heat. So evaporation always causes cooling. It is a phenomena that evaporation always causes cooling. Now another example, if we will take a pan, suppose we have a pan and we are applying, suppose we are having a pan and we are applying heat, we are spreading some water inside it, and when we are applying some heat, when we are giving some heat to it, we will see that the water particles are getting removed from the pan. Where the water particle goes, it is these water particles getting evaporated because the water particles takes the heat which is providing to the pan, and after taking the heat they are getting evaporated, and whole of the water content which are lies there, they are ultimately diminished and the pan becomes cool. So these all are the major effects of evaporation, in which mostly evaporation causes cooling. So these all are about the evaporation.